Halo. Akhirnya 2-1 Manchester United versus Manchester City. Here we go. Yes. Salam sejahtera, salam satu Malaysia, keluarga Malaysia. Okay, so hari ni kita semua, Josh, kita ada Raj, kita ada Josh, kita ada Doc di bawah, semua nak celebrate kemenangan Manchester United. Man United wins today against Man City. Woo! So, okay, before we start, I have some news not to share everyone. I'm afraid today's session, Dom's cannot join because of his dad has passed. So, from all of us, from JomUnited family, we are sending condolences to Dom. Hopefully everything is okay. Everything will be smooth. May strength will be with you, and also everything will be okay. Okay? Alright? Okay, so Josh, Raj, and Doc. Manchester United menang, wins again Man City. How you guys feeling today?
Woohoo! Fantastic.
Okay, kita start dengan Raj. Perasaan sekarang, what do you feel sekarang? Macam mana MU versus Man City tadi 2-1 kita menang?
It took us freaking 10 bloody years to come up with a tactical plan that is proper and to execute it against Manchester City. We were not playing on the break. We were actually taking the game to them. We had a plan B, plan C for that matter. Everything worked to perfection. There was a lot of eyebrows raised when Fred started the game instead of Anthony. Luke Shaw at left back. I think Luke Shaw is slowly becoming a fantastic centre back, if you ask me. Very, very confident, very, very calm on the ball against arguably one of the biggest strikers in the Premier League. The biggest striker in the Premier League who has gone 5 games without a goal. So it is a fantastic result. I felt the joy and jubilation as if it was the Manchester derby of the old. You remember that Rooney bicycle kick that we won 2-1?
Oh,
that feeling, that bicycle kick. That feeling, that was the same feeling I felt when Rashford scored the winner. Fantastic performance. Tactical nouns by Erik ten Hag. We have to give credit to that. A lot of people think, it's the players and all, but Erik ten Hag actually foresaw that we might go 1-0 down, and when we went 1-0 down, we didn't take a back foot and allow City to come in and counter-attack. We started pushing forward and City panicked. And they conceded 2 goals. Pijal, how you are feeling?
Oi, jangan tanyalah. Macam ni kan, kalau you excited about the way I never scream that shout lah. It's been a long time dah. Rasa macam dah tak ingat dah. Bila last time I jerit sekuat macam tu, I rasa jiran sebelah pun dah marah I tu. Apa malam-malam bising-bising kan? Tapi betul. Talking about the lineup tu, I nak tanya Josh lah. Josh, Shaw, masa I tengok lineup tu, I nampak Shaw and also Fred main now. Shaw at CB and then Fred pun play. Kita macam like, what are the tactical yang si Erik ten Hag nak buat ni kan? Tiba-tiba nampak Shaw kan. Even kita ada Lisandro Martinez pun also on the bench kan. Kita macam like, ini macam nak bunuh diri je orang kata kan. So what do you think about that lineup? Masa your first thought about the lineup tu?
Well, when the lineup when Shaw started, thank God that he started off earlier games that was more promising, and I think he wanted to complement Varane in terms of speed, because Varane will probably take a lot of Haaland's blocking Haaland, covering him, and Shaw might be the one who wins the second ball when Varane is doing that defending. So I think that complements each other instead of Varane Lindelof or Varane Maguire, exactly like how Lisandro Martinez played against with Varane. But I think in terms of match fitness, I think after the World Cup, he probably need more time. And Shaw has been performing well as centre back, and he is complementing the whole defense. He's literally bringing more speed to the back, and he actually covers a lot for Malaysia when Malaysia goes high up, because they know when Kyle Walker comes and counter for City, Malaysia can actually take that advantage, and he knows that Shaw will be covering him. So that was a great compliment in the centre back. And I think as a defense unit, they are all five of them. They have been much more stronger as a unit. More communication. You can see them complementing each other. You can see them getting the support that they needed, even from the defensive midfielders. You know, I'm really grateful that this worked out in comparison to the last City game where we got allowed 6 goals. Today's game was a reflection of what Ten Hag's masterclass can do. Yes, we play at home. It was an advantage, but of course, you can see the click. We gave threat to City, and that's the most important thing. And we actually kept Haaland very quiet, and that's the most important thing to keep City quiet.
Yes. See, so let's read some comments. Colin Smurf, dia kata Shaw was a beast beside Casemiro. This one, Syed, look, it's not Shaw Beto. He's now Shaw Maldini. Okay. This is, since we are talking about Shaw, guys. Doc, what do you think? Does Shaw really his best position, or maybe this season lah, kita nampak this centre back ni memang new position for Luke Shaw? Or do you think this is just like a stopgap to give Martinez macam sedikit masa nak bernafas kan after the World Cup dah habis macam tu? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether ETH already had this in mind for the City game, and then he played Shaw at left centre back for the last few games. Because I think the issue is, right, sometimes with Martinez, he's good going forward, but he tends to also push up too much, whereas Shaw gives you that a little bit more defensive stability in the centre, right? And I think we saw Pep take advantage of that in the first game. I think the key here was not to concede early. There's no point, even though you're playing at home, right, to go head-to-head with City, because they will hold the ball and they will kill you, right? So I think the key was to not concede early. I think the ploy to play Fred as a man marker for KDB was superb. You know, it's like Park Ji-sung on Perlo last time. Right? He just followed him all over the place. And when KDB did get some chances, right, he was not really in the game. And when you nullify KDB, you nullify Haaland as well. So you saw Haaland wasn't much in the game. He had to start dropping deep to get the ball. And I think that was key. The only thing I was a bit worried was at the end of the first half, we didn't take our chances. So we created some good chances. And I was a bit worried they might come back to bite us in the back because we didn't take those chances. You'd always get limited chances against City, right? So I think first half was good. When second half they started dominating and they scored. A little bit worried, but there were opportunities. We know the centre back pairing for City wasn't that strong. Akanji and Ake playing behind, and I think we performed well in the second half. And those 4.5 minutes, superb lah. The right at the end were a bit scary lah. The last few minutes, right? But I think lucky we pulled through lah. So good win, important win, big win. It pulls us within a point of City. It also gives us a chance at a title tilt. Now, the key will be, of course, to follow up with a big win at Palace before we go into the Arsenal game.
Yes. So Brian Lee comments, nice 4-3-1-2 formation in the first half. Ya, betul nampak 4-3-1-2. Tapi boleh kata kalau kita remove Fred kan, because of dia nak kena jaga si De Bruyne. So macam midfield tu macam expose sikit. ETH learn from previous game. Martinez cannot beat Haaland. So just send Luke Shaw. Alright. Ni ada comments. Fred. I know one of the biggest criticism about Fred. Raj, what do you think about Fred? Man marking Kevin De Bruyne.
I think yesterday I had a chat with my brother. Both of us are very ardent Manchester United fans. He asked me to name my lineup. I actually named Fred alongside Casemiro because lately Fred has been a person who has had that tenacity. The only player that I actually didn't name was, I thought he might go with Martinez Shaw, but he went with Shaw and Malaysia at the back. So that was the only difference. I think I named practically the same team. I was a little bit disappointed with Christian Eriksen today, but in all fairness, Fred was fantastic. You can see that even when he actually goes off position, he makes sure that he actually points a finger to someone and say, look, De Bruyne is at the back.
Yeah.
Have an eye on him. So he was always on the watch, and that was not at the expense of just man marking him all the way. There were certain moments where Fred was spraying passes from the left to right and what's on. Second half, at one point, Eric Ten Hag actually called Luke Shaw. I think when he made the Garnacho substitution, he said something to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw went and spoke to Fred. And then all of a sudden, you can see Fred and Luke Shaw really pushing up, and Kyle Walker had to like push back. That was the point where we got both the goals.
Yeah.
So the main point here is Eric Ten Hag is getting the players to play what he wants to be done on the field. Regardless who you are, you go there, you do what I ask you to do, or else you're not playing. It's plain and simple. If you're bad, I'm taking you out. That's it. Of course, towards the end, I was a bit worried when Casemiro actually fell down. I thought, shit, there goes our season. Thank God he's okay. He's still running. So let's hope for the best. Fred was fantastic.
Last part all must wayang lah, bro. Wayang.
Yeah.
No, I seriously thought something happened to his knee because by the way he fell down and he was holding his knee.
The continental touch lah, Hold roll around until the last.
Before that, we had Fernandez, right? Fernandez was holding the car.
He started.
Pretend like it froze all of a sudden or something like that.
Okay, ni admin komen. Fred and Casemiro partnership is too good. Yes lah, betul lah. Dia boleh nampak. Fred and Casemiro ni memang dia complement each other in terms of at least on the defensive duty tu memang dia dah cover tau. Okay, Josh. I nak tanya pasal that lineup of midfield tau. Kita ada Fred, Eriksen pun I nampak this game dia tak functioning sangat, and Bruno tau. Dan kita nampak the how Eric Ten Hag set up the team pun banyak Bruno belah kanan. So kita tak ada that proper right midfielder tau in order nak accommodate, because of boleh nampak Cancelo banyak running down. So what do you think about that, not having the proper right midfielder? Even though kita nampak crowded the midfield, but having that right-sided vacant tu, what do you think about that?
I would a bit disagree on that, because I think having Eriksen, yes, he may not have the best of games, but we needed an outlet to make the critical pass, the passes to the front man and so forth, because we played Casemiro, Fred and Bruno to do the pressing. Okay, if you played another person, let's say McTominay or another midfielder who was also pressing, then everyone is pressing. You don't have that intelligence to because Bruno, as you know, when he's into the game, you start chasing, you start tackling, and if he make a misplaced passes, and then everyone will get frustrated. But Eriksen has that calmness. I think off the ball, because he's not part of his game where to do pressing. We all know that. I know he's not his biggest strength, but he is the most quieter one among the four, because it was a pressing game. But I'm sure he played a role when to maintain calmness, because we to maintain the ball with City, you need people as experienced as Eriksen to be in the squad. We needed that calmness in that part lah. So. To have Eriksen, yes, he could have done better, but we just created more momentum and then we counter-attack. But in all honesty, we had some threats. We had something moving forward. And it started off from the midfield, including Eriksen as well. All right? Of course, he can have better games, but I think today was a game of the whole team. I don't see anyone played a bad game today, to be very, very honest. Everyone played a part. Even the substitution that came in played a part. There's an impact, there was defending. They straight know where the loophole is and they straight went into play. Like what Raj mentioned. They want to play Ten Hag style. So they know where to play. Immediately they blended in. So for today's game, the midfield and on paper, City of course had a better defense. Better midfielders in terms of possession, passing, and so forth, right? But if anyone was having a bad day, I think it was Martial, because he was more quiet lah. I wouldn't see our midfield as a quieter one lah. But in all honesty, I think everyone played their part today, and that's how we got the win.
Aduh, Joy dah touch dah Martial. Okay lah, I think I have to touch about Martial lah. Doc, what do you think, Martial? Is he having a bad game, or is it because of maybe the City punya style menyebabkan kita tak nampak Martial punya contribution in terms of, because in order nak main dengan Martial, you have to be much control the game tau. Bila you dapat control the game, baru you nampak function of Martial. Tapi because of City controlling the game, kita tak nampak function Martial langsung tau. So what do you think?
If you look at it, right, I think it's basically, I wouldn't judge them very harshly based on this game lah. Even Eriksen, because it's a game where you're having about 30% possession. Now, Eriksen is a player who is key when you have possession. He will drop back and he dictate the play. If you're not having the ball that much, so obviously it looks like he doesn't have a good game. I think the difference here, right, is that we have now leaders on the pitch as compared to previous seasons, right, where we had nobody really leading. Now we have Varane at the back, we've got Casemiro, we've got Bruno, all leaders on the pitch, right? And even when we went one down, the heads didn't drop. Okay,
Betul?
I think actually if we look at it in the first half, Martial wasn't too bad in the sense that he did, when we had the ball, he did actually get involved in the build-up play and things like that, right? But of course he didn't get any chances, and I think the one that Rashford missed touch and went to Ederson, if he had actually squared it, Martial was there, right? And if he had scored, it would have been different. But I guess if you look at it in total, probably he was the poorest player in the pitch. But I didn't think he did very badly as well, But again, we are playing City. You're having a 30% possession. It's a bit difficult for the strikers or front players to get into the game, right? Even once we took him out in the second half, then we didn't have the outlet to hold on to the ball. We were playing long ball for some time, right? Yeah. So, well, to look at it, he was an important cog in the first half. Maybe just the poorest of the players on the pitch, but not too bad. I wouldn't criticize them too badly in this game where we are actually not in possession of the ball so much.
Yes, kita ada komen jap, baca komen sikit. Donovan, Martial has to buck up or else bye-bye. Ni tapi dah dah jawab dah. Betul lah ni. This is the guy very critical of Martial lah. Bijak penerja ni, Martial out. Tapi admin, dia tak sing dengan admin. Admin pula, Martial man of the match. Tak langsung. This maybe Martin ni dia echo sikit lah apa yang Dok kata, which is yes, striker memang dia scores goal, but there also the part of the game mana dia memang kena control the ball, hold the ball, let others playing kan. Yes, okay, ni I nak tanya lah Raj. That wasted first half, do you think Rashford redeemed himself for wasting that first half with the second half punya goal?
For a moment, I thought he was done for a few months when he actually held his groin and fell down. I thought that was it. And then all of a sudden, second half, I think he took some pil kuda or something. He started running like he's on drugs, man. I don't know what actually happened, what treatment he got in halftime, the treatment table or what. He started running everywhere. But it comes in a big match. I thought at one point he's just a flat track bully because he was a bit silent throughout the game. But as it is typical of Rashford delivers in moments in every game. Every game he might have a quiet game, and then all of a sudden he might have 2 or 3 moments. The first goal when he made the run, and then the good thing was he didn't touch the ball. There was a whole debate over whether he touched it or not, but he didn't actually touch the ball. And you can see the defenders are following Bruno Fernandes to come and tackle the ball as well. And Bruno managed to kick it before the 2 defenders came on. So I think Rashford, of course, the winning goal, that was a fantastic poacher's goal. At the right place, at the right time, fantastic performance by, like I echo Doc, everyone played a role in the game. Even Maguire to come and take the armband from Bruno Fernandes. Fantastic performance. So everyone played a role in the game and they did it to perfection. So let's enjoy the win, guys. It has been a long, I mean, we won games under Mourinho, we won games under Ole and all those things. Everything went on, but it didn't feel the same because we never really controlled the game as much as we did today compared to how it was in those games, right? Usually we win by default. We let City hammer us all the way and then suddenly we start a counter-attacking, counter-press, and then we win. So today it feels different. It feels that after that 6-3 drubbing in the Etihad, we have come a long way. You can see that very, very clearly. That is the takeaway thing from today. When we went 1-0 down, the heads didn't drop. No, we went on playing, we went pushing for it, and we got a well-deserved win.
Yeah, so we go attack them rather than we sit back and let them just having their time of the life. Yes, okay, now I'm gonna talk about that goal considered lah. Okay, you two can. Doc, Josh, I nak tanya you. So whose fault is that?
Ayo, very hard to say.
Because for that goal, we are playing very compact defensive and also midfielder to very compact. Suddenly, because of lack of concentration, suddenly De Bruyne free And then Grealish tau, of all people, we don't want Grealish tau. Grealish scored the goal. So what do you think about that goal we conceded?
It's going to be really harsh if I want to name any players for that goal because it was really quality goal I think it's brilliance from KDB to go right at the bar line with that precise chip, and then late run by Jack Grealish to the header, because it was very hard to man mark. If anything, also who's marking Grealish but how to get someone to blame someone for that also, because it was a really really good goal, because Jack Grealish just came in the game, and when substitution like that, probably you take 2-3 minutes for the midfield to know who is marking who also at that point, and Jack Grealish came in and make an impact like that, because those are why we pay big money for quality players like that to make this kind of goals But if I really have to be harsh on this, it's definitely maybe one of the DMs I say to track Grealish, I think, but it was a brilliant goal But with all honesty, this was the time where I to be honest myself, we needed City to score first for Manchester United to come as passionate to go all out against City, because we needed that. We needed the goal to come in, because it's not.
Yeah.
It was like leading to like a 0-0 or a 1-0 kind of game, And once City scored, right, you can see everyone was really hyped up to go all out to City, So in a way, I appreciate the goal considered, so that we can do a comeback. And I expected a draw but even better was a win. So yeah, great stuff.
So you're actually expecting us to concede goal this today game.
What do you think?
Okay, surprise. Josh is not
Yes,
blaming the guy. Very high. Even Edwin also very surprised.
Exactly. But I think
Okay.
I'll agree with Josh there. The goal was a good goal. The only thing I would say is that possibly that they lost sight of the players they were marking, all dropped towards the goal. AWB, Varane all ran into the goal, almost into the goal, And in fact, if Grealish had missed it, Haaland had already pulled back and was ready for the header as well. So that's the only thing I would say. They sort of lost sight of their man for a while. But other than that, I think it was a good defensive display. Other than that one mistake. I mean, sometimes you just have to accept. It was a good goal. There's nothing much you can do about it.
Yes, betul. Now, let's talk about that goal. Doc, what do you think, Doc? That goal from Bruno. I think dia lari 100 meter kan. Lepaskan. Jangan sentuh.
Yeah,
So
I think that was
that goal? Is that showing that memang dia nak, is it that Rashford memang saja, ada certain orang kata dia saja lari offside nak confusekan City punya defender. So what do you think about that?
No I don't think he would have planned to be offside. He made the run already, right? He was actually through, but I think he would have definitely got a call from Bruno to leave it. And the good thing is he didn't touch it, right? On another day, that goal could have easily been chalked off, because whatever said and done, he is sort of interfering with the defender's movement. So some referees might have taken it a bit more stricter and actually chalked it off. But lucky for us, the intervention was correct, and I think it was the correct decision because he was close. He didn't touch the ball. The defenders didn't make any movement towards him, right? They were actually going, and there was a defender trying to follow Bruno as well. So I think all in all, it was the correct decision. But I can understand why City would be upset to concede the goal, So I understand why they surrounded the referee. But for me, I think personally, it was a good goal. And the key was Bruno's call. Bruno was have called Rashford and said, just leave it. And he tucked it into the corner perfectly, wonderfully fine. Beautiful goal.
Ya, boleh nampak lah. After that, Bruno goal juga, dia terus pergi kat linesman. No, didn't touch. So memang, I mula-mula macam, offside ke? So macam, macam lah. Tapi macam, nasib baik goal lah tu. So, Adik, I nak tanya, Raj, what do you think? Bruno should be our captain, or that Ambed tu just leave it as an appreciation for current captain kan? Biarlah dia masih menjadi captain lagi untuk bagi dia angkat piala ke. So what do you think? Should Bruno remain captains until in Erik ten Hag era ke, or this is just a stopgap because of Maguire is not playing?
Before that, I would like to give my compliment to Grealish's teenage ballerina hairstyle. He can keep it and he can do whatever he feels like it. Okay, he thinks that he's a great player, but he's trash, to be honest. And there was a stat that when he came in, they have never lost the game. Whenever the ballerina came in and started dancing and all that nonsense, they lost today. So let it be. Serves him right, because I honestly hate the way he plays. Number one. And number two, let's get a jersey with the word captain stitched on it for the number 5 in Manchester United till the end of the season, so that every time he comes for the last 3 minutes, he doesn't go and buck the shit out of Bruno to give him the armband. So, to be honest, Bruno is the captain. Last game, if you all remember, he gave the penalty to Marcus Rashford, right? The last minute penalty. He gave it to Marcus Rashford. He's the designated penalty taker. He gave it to him. You can clearly see from Rashford's reaction that the moment he scored, he came and the first person he came and actually confronted was Bruno. So fantastic captain for today. He was shouting, he was spraying out instructions to everybody on the pitch. I think on defense, the leader in the defensive lineup is Shaw, but overall in the team is Bruno Fernandes, because you can see Shaw is a more calmer presence compared to the much experienced Rafael Varane in defense. Shaw is a cool head. As much as early of the season I said he's topui and all those things, yes, I made all those remarks, yes, definitely, because I want players to perform, and Shaw is performing. So Rashford is performing. So I will actually give the credit due to them. But please, the number 5 jersey, get a word captain stitched on the jersey, and you can give it to him. He can wear it game in, game out. Doesn't matter.
So don't waste time lah kan nak
Yeah,
kena
jangan bagi masa for what?
nak pergi ke Bruno nak ambil armband, lepas tu nak pakai.
I mean, the captain has led a game for 90 plus minutes, right? 92 minutes. Last 3 minutes, you come in, you go and take the armband and you wear. Aren't you even ashamed of yourself? A left back is playing as the first choice centre back in a Manchester derby. You better find a good tauge plan and go and hang yourself. For God's sake. So Bruno is the captain. End of story.
So I think he is the captain for the Erik ten Hag era lah. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, and another thing is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I think he's now second coming of Lionel Messi or something like that. The ball control was exquisite, man. At one point, I thought, what the hell? I was actually wondering who on earth is this? All of a sudden, we have a new player on the pitch. I had to actually bring that up.
I think we have to talk about that Wan-Bissaka lah. Josh, what do you think about that lah? I think now we have finally see a true Messi on our right back.
Fully inspired by Lionel Messi lah. I have to agree with Raj. I don't know what he did. I literally think he was, when he got the ball, he was doing twists and turns, ball control, so calm with the ball, and he completed passes, he was crossing. I don't think he had any misplaced passes today. Yes, honestly, yes. I don't think so he had any misplaced passes. And yeah, brilliant game lah. I think Wan-Bissaka can play like this. I don't know what happened. Maybe United had psychology to speak to him about life and something like that, because he is talented. Defensively, he was really good, right? But today, offensively, he is bringing a lot of threat and he's taking shots. He is, bringing players to play, bringing the extra options on the right so that, you pull another player and things like that. So yeah, great stuff, right? Wan-Bissaka, and I hope he maintains his spot and maintain his consistency and give Dalot this headache also, and also to not sign another right back lah, because we are wasting resources in that. If we have like two complete good right back, I don't think so we need to spend or invest in one.
So does he deserve to start next game, or once Dalot fit you mainkan Dalot pula?
I think with this form, why not just play Wan-Bissaka unless he needs a break lah, because we don't want to spoil the defense momentum lah. It's your backbone of the team lah, so why break a good recipe?
Okay, Doc. Changes. Now we're gonna talk about our young Messi, Mr. Garnacho. So what do you think about that? That changes by Erik ten Hag, bringing on Garnacho, replacing Eriksen. If I'm not mistaken, ganti Eriksen, suddenly dia macam really positive. Yang orang kata tak ada takut langsung lah, dia memang dapat bola, dia attack terus. Kyle Walker who kita boleh cakap macam tu.
Yeah, I think he had to make the change. Looking at our bench, I think the most obvious offensive change would have been Garnacho. The good thing is he's young. He's not scared to take on
Ilanga,
players, right? No, please no Ilanga lah. Okay. Yeah, but anyway, he's scared. He's not scared to take on players, right? No matter what reputation you are, you can even see that one part he fouled Walker, and he went in for the tackle, and that's good. The thing is, he always looks forward, right? And once he came in, we looked a different threat lah. To be fair, because I think Anthony was average on the right. He had good runs, but not turning it into anything substantial. But Garnacho did, right? And I think I have to give kudos to Bruno for that pass to him for the second goal. What a pass! He looked like he was going right, and he switched that play totally, caught City off, and also Garnacho's sort of how cool he was to actually cut in and then cut back out and then put the ball across the 6-yard box for Rashford to tuck in, and a good finish from Rashford lah. So I think the substitutions today were at the right time, and they all were impactful subs.
This one, ada comments by Adam Ho. So this season kalau dia still outperforming, does he deserve to wear that vacant number 7 for next season, Adok?
I think he needs to develop a little bit more consistency. So you see when he starts games, he doesn't do as well, and that may be also part of because his game is beating players, right? And but he doesn't have that kind of upper body physique to beat players or to if in one-on-one. So when he comes in as a sub and players are already tired, he can use his space and go past players. I just think he needs to develop some consistency, especially when he starts games. I think when we see him start games, it's not as impressive as when he comes off the bench, right? And that is part of the development that they need to look at next lah, because his game is about speed, a bit of speed, and he takes on players. So if they're a little bit fatigued and tired, he can take advantage. But when he starts games, you will see he finds difficulty in having that kind of same impact on the game.
Yes. So kita ada ni Brown Bear. Let's not be obsessed with giving someone the number 7. It's a big number with big pressure. I think someone like macam Garnacho ni orang kata mungkin somewhat maybe lah if this season dia boleh continue, I think if he deserve it then bagi je lah number 7 ni kan. Alright, now I'm going to talk about our manager, Mr. Raj. The undefeated continues. The streak goes on, the winning games. Even Rashford pun dah still on goal scoring streak. So what do you think about these two players yang orang kata streak still continues?
Erik Ten Hag 9 wins in a row.
Yeah.
Rashford 9 home games in a row, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
Yeah, betul.
I think it's 9 home games in a row. Fantastic. The way Erik Ten Hag is using the squad is not being mentioned enough, I feel. Right? You have like cement backs like Maguire being used in certain games as well. Players who can't actually move, who can't actually differentiate, who I've actually referenced as a retarded ostrich can still play games 90 minutes week in, week out. So these are things that we are not mentioning. The only problem is, do we have the depth to go all the way? That is my only concern. All the positions we are fine. CDM. Because I feel that the difference between Scott McTominay and Casemiro is miles off. It's like one person is in the North Pole and the other person is in the South Pole. That's how bad it is. How far it is. The drop-off is just too obvious. So if the board can actually do something by giving us another CDM to complete the January transfer window, that would be fantastic. Hopefully. Of course, I got no hope with this board at all, to be honest. The best thing is to get the club sold to someone else before the end of the season. But we are having a fantastic season. Good. People are believing in Erik Ten Hag. Erik Ten Hag is getting his message, his word across. Cutting off, for all you know, right? For all you know, let's be honest, guys. Martinez might be punished for coming back late from Argentina.
Yeah, betul.
That's why he's not starting games.
Betul, mungkin, maybe.
Why is Luke Shaw being preferred to Martinez when Martinez, who is a more robust defender, it could be tactical. I'm not throwing it out, but it could also be Erik Ten Hag, the disciplinarian he is. See what he did with Rashford, right? He actually told that Martinez needs to remember that he has a game on the 27th or 28th, if I'm not mistaken, and he came back late. Let's not forget that. So he is getting his message across without pissing the players off. No player is bigger than the club. The mentality that Manchester United had long ago, it is slowly coming back. It is good. Hopefully, it lasts. Let's see how it goes. But fantastic by Eric Ten Hag so far. Fantastic.
Yes, betul. This Josh dia kata. Eric Ten Hag is the man. Let's back him. Yes, we definitely back our managers. Hopefully this season dia boleh dapat at least bring one trophy lah. Okay, now I'm gonna set aside about the match. We have new signing. Apa? Warehouse. Apa nama dia? Macam how to pronounce? I hear he's a
We
Dutch
gotta ask
player.
our Dutch
So now
ambassador lah.
I'm gonna ask the president of Dutch Association, Mr. George. What do you think about this Warehouse? Warehouse. So how is going to contribute to Manchester United current lineup, current setup? Macam mana? What do you think about that? About that signing?
Well, I think Ten Hag knows his signings pretty well. We definitely need an outlet, a different channel, different outlet, a plan B. Because we are with the current players that we have, we know what Manchester United brings to the table. If you play very well, yes, you can score 3-4 goals, right? But if things don't go well, if players are off form in the front, what do? When you need to throw the kitchen sink, everything, you put in this man, 6'6", a scorer in many divisions. You know, maybe a player who knows his set piece. You saw the goal against Argentina. He knows his set piece. He leads the set piece goals. So who knows? Maybe more goals from corners, set piece, free kicks. You know, headers, crosses, long balls. You know, to set players up. You know, we need a different channel, and we didn't have that kind of striker before. A very long time we didn't have a solid number 9 up front. And Wood Workhorse is basically a player who knows he's an intelligent player. He knows he's not fast, but he can bring on players. He can actually complement another striker. If you want to go to 4-4-2, we can do all these kind of options. And I think Ten Hag wants this kind of options in case we play like a very low block team, for example. You know, no point putting all the paciest strikers when we cannot penetrate right in the middle, or maybe 3 centre backs kind of thing. So give him the number 7 for 6 months, because a big man needs a big name and a big number. So give him for 6 months and let's see. Hopefully he scores all these critical goals lah, especially the last minutes, 92nd, 93rd minute, and I think he will do a good job lah for the next 6 months. Let's wish him luck and back him up, you know, and see how he does for Manchester United.
Yes, this one Syed katakan what a signing. Tapi itulah bila katakan because he has experience playing in the English Premier League kan. So mungkin there's a bit of extra lah about Workhorse. Tadi Eddie beritahu this is how to pronounce So now we are pronouncing him as Workhorse. Okay, now we end of the match, end of the live session. Now I nak tanya each and every one of you, man of the match. We start with Doc first. Doc, man of the match.
Ooh, that's a tough one lah. I think a toss up between, of course, Rashford, Bruno, Casemiro, but I will go with Bruno lah for his one goal and one fantastic pass to set up the second goal as well. For me, I thought Bruno today really showed that kind of leadership that we need from our captain on the pitch. You can see even when we were considered, you know, he was really driving the team and he was actually calling them to press, you know, things like that. And today, for me, he was the man of the match, clear man of the match for me.
Raj, what do you think? Who's the man of the match for you?
Oh, it's like a tough call. I would say it's between Bruno and Luke Shaw to me. I mean, Luke Shaw playing as a left centre back and keeping Erling Haaland quiet. That is something, man. Luke Shaw and Varane keeping Haaland had barely a sniff at goal. De Gea didn't even need to make it. I think there was one block made by Casemiro, if I'm not mistaken, in 90 minutes. That's about it. But kudos where it's due, I think, due to sheer leadership and how he actually pushed the team forward, Bruno Fernandes.
Josh, what do you think? Who's your man of the match?
Oh, I have to give it to the one and only David De Gea, because he froze at the right time, at the last minute. All the times you need David De Gea to freeze, that was the right time to freeze, and he fell down on the floor frozen for about solid.
Hey, actually, to be honest, I never seen him do that. Like, it's the first time I'm seeing him
Exactly.
collect the ball and freeze on the ground.
For a while, I thought he was going to sleep with the ball or something like that.
He followed Bruno and Casemiro and falling around and wasting time.
Yes.
But never seen him do that. It is the first time ever. First time he froze at the right moment. Side will be happy.
Yeah,
Like,
but
yeah.
I think with all that said, with all seriousness, I think Bruno today played a fantastic game. We needed a captain. We came back against City. Just remember that we came back against
Yeah,
City.
came back against City, yes.
We had a lot of passion. I think he really made everyone grew into the game at the last 15 minutes or so. But yeah, a real dictator, real leadership. I think hopefully we can end the season really strong.
Yes. With that, Manchester United, we end the session now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, put a comment in the YouTube channel. Okay, we see you next game. Bye-bye.